I went through the whole thing. I'm one of the chosen ones when Drew was just learning to cut his teeth.
Right,
When half of the K Rock staff was in recovery with me.
right.
Uh, you go to a meeting in Pasadena, you'd bump into them.
Hmm.
And I'm not outing anybody. And now am I wrong? It's trendy to be outed now, right? It's cool to be AA. We've actually seen it to the point where anonymous is one thing. I get that. And yeah, we're kind of being anonymous here. You could probably research both of us and probably find out our real lives. Neither of us really cares.
Right,
We don't.
right.
In fact, we give crap to people who drink around us when we're out in social and business settings. Um,
I don't so much. I mean, if they have a problem, I do. I mean, but to be honest with you, most people that drink heavy don't trust me.
no, I find him fascinating. I enjoy getting him drunk.
Yeah, me too.
It's
I
my favorite part.
have two because I can't have one.
I'm pretty convinced that's why Randy likes hanging out with us because he's safe. We'll
Uh,
let him go.
he won't do that with me anymore because he found out the hard way he can't keep up with a guy that drinks Red Bull.
Yeah, no, that's not good. You don't sleep. I forgot about that.
Well, no,
Uh,
not me though, but he was feeling it in the morning.
uh, yeah, that's
Is a trooper.
understandable. All right, so
Yeah,
I was at Los Encinas, and I think I waited a whole 2 weeks before I met her and obsessed about her, and then her obsessed about me and followed me to my sober living and the whole nine. I'm not being a hypocrite on the subject. I just don't know why we don't address it right out of the gate instead of don't do it. If you tell me don't do something, I'm probably going to do it.
right. Absolutely, absolutely. That's how I was in treatment. I didn't. I mean, I knew my therapist was scared of me. Um, and a lot of other people were too, but yeah, she wasn't an addict, so or an alcoholic. She had PTSD. So yeah, more.
You wait. I'm not. I'm laughing at the situation, not at the individual. For anybody listening and
I,
thinking I'm being a jerk, that's hysterical.
I
You
agree.
couldn't write that as a comedy.
I got some of my money back because of it.
Holy crap! And everybody's listening, going, "Oh, that's probably poor thing." You have no idea that if I was watching a movie with Ian right now and that happened on the screen, we'd go, "Bullshit."
Yeah.
Never happened. And of course, she's got to have the random PTSD breakouts, right?
Only on my family day. Only because my family didn't come. I mean, I don't have that much family left, and the family that I did have that was in the area, my uncle had a head trauma, and he was,
Oh my god.
at so.
This oh. What was the sitcom when oh we're gonna date ourselves? This is like soap. This is like the sitcom
Yeah,
soap. It's just that random and that crazy.
yeah,
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's so great. All right. So what is the advice these days? I'm out of the sponsorship game. I know you have a few active sponsees, and I suppose that these shows should start to tail into the direction of having some hopeful message,
yeah.
even for step zero. So my advice is you're going to do it. Just try not to go completely nuclear and take yourself out with the whole situation. Did I say nuclear? Nuclear. No, I said it right the first time.
Right.
Nuclear. Um,
Well,
you're gonna melt. It's
recovery,
gonna happen.
I like to explain it to my sponsees. Here's the deal. You have a girl, she's new, she's fresh, she's about to go on this journey, she's about to change, still working one, two, and three, likes you, you're not a bad influence on her, you're compatible, she's attracted to you. But once four, five, six, seven, and eight start happening, there's a lot of change there. And all of a sudden her wants and needs are not going to have you included. And she's going to grow, and you've already done your four step, so you're screwed. So that's what's going to happen. Just make sure you know it beforehand, and that's all. And that's what I say. I've seen guys with time get really twisted over new women for that exact same reason. I think that suggestion on the 13 step, I don't think it's for the newcomer. I think it's for the person with time. I
I've
do.
I don't want to sound like a complete tool bag jerk on this topic,
Mhm.
but I've had sex with newcomers and I really haven't cared when they've relapsed. Cuz I was honest at the beginning and generally told them you're probably going to obsess and relapse.
Well, yeah. I mean, one thing I have learned, I mean, there were times when I was still on house arrest and still fairly new. And when I say fairly new in my first 2 years, you know, every couple of weeks, a girl from my home group would show up that would just be like, if I don't get laid, I'm going to go use. So I'd take one for the team. But what I didn't realize at that point in my recovery is that they're going to go use anyway.
Yes, they are.
You know, and that is nothing personal about me. I can't keep someone sober and clean with certain parts of my body. That is never going to happen. And I don't think I could make somebody relapse with those same certain parts of my body.
Funny, I see it as a superpower. I am able to make them relapse
Yeah, no, I
and I find glee in it.
yeah, I mean, in 2001, I did think that because I mean, there was a stretch where, and these
Right?
were all ex-girlfriends that were in and out of recovery. I mean, a couple of overdoses, a couple of suicides, a couple of, one was she got herself killed. And so there was like one summer where just five girls that I dated had died. And I mean, at that point, I had 7 years sober, and I didn't. I stopped dating in and around the program. But now that has changed because, and to me, it's not. I'm still one of those guys. I'm trying to get the emotional relationship that I find that intimacy with females in the room emotionally, and the physical intimate relationship. I'm still trying to get that with the same person. And, sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. And so I really don't date people like I say, I usually date people right before they get sober. I'm that, as they're crashing the plane, I'm that last mountain that they might crash into before they hit the water. But I mean, and that's what it is, and that's okay because I'm looking for different things than the spiritual experience. You know,
Okay.
to me, the
What?
spiritual experience takes hard work. I still look, if somebody confronts me, it's going to be a violent a violent solution, not a spiritual solution. I know that. I mean, it's just part of being an alpha. But for me, I have to remember to seek the spiritual solution. I mean, the violent, sexual, and financial solutions are easy. But for me, just being willing to seek a spiritual solution is tough.
Okay, and what's the spiritual solution?
Well, the spiritual solution is look for gratitude.
Gratitude.
Yeah, I think.
All right, safely for those listening, you can tell gratitude is not a big one in my vocabulary.
Right, right. But I mean, and neither is it mine. But sometimes I got to look for it. I mean, I complain about, oh, my car's not running right. Well, hey, dickhead, you got five cars, drive another one. Um, and it was funny because at my first meeting was a guy complaining that his mechanic couldn't get his wife's Rolls Royce running right. So his wife got his Rolls Royce, and all I could picture was me pulling up to his house with a U-Haul and really giving him something to cry about. But yeah, I was new. I don't automatically think like that anymore. I mean, some of my behaviors took a long time to let go of. And everything I let go of had claw marks on it. And again, seeking a spiritual solution. If I'm in self pity, I'll be the first guy to go to a meeting at the homeless shelter or at a halfway house or something. And then I realized I don't have it that bad. If you guys are new, sometimes all you could do is just not use for that day. And you know, that's how it is for me 2 decades later. Sometimes the only thing that resembles anything in the big book or the 12 and 12 is that I don't pick up. And you know, if you're new and if you don't pick up, and if you you know, go to a meeting tomorrow and if you don't use between meetings, you know, you're going to get some time. And you know, and especially with me, I was on house arrest when I was new, so I was going to 5 meetings a day. I still had denial that I was actually an addict. I thought I was a hard partier with mental problems and bad luck with the cops. That was it. And it took 10, 11 months of continuous sobriety to realize that, you know what, my life has gotten really good. And the things that I thought I needed, like the toxic relationship or the, you know, the criminal organization or the shitty business or you know, all that stuff, it just became less important. And I didn't need it anymore. But sometimes I'll be the first one to admit, I'll sign up for that toxic relationship because she's hot.
Yeah. And it's fun. It is. And that ultimately brings me to my postscript on all this, which is, are we really just obsessed with drama?
You know what? I ran into a drama queen I hadn't seen in 12 years. And, you know, since then she's had 2 more children. She's got married and divorced. Um,
Was she employed as a drama queen? Is there good work out there?
yeah, she's looking to get hired because with a realtor buddy of mine that was just looking for someone to make phone calls on expireds
Oh, no, that's a drama queen. She's perfect. Okay.
but yeah, but no, she's afraid of the phone. She's afraid of the phone. One day she made 17 phone calls and it was like the end of the world for her.
Yeah.
You know, because the kids, she had to go get the kids. She had to go do this. Her friend needed her. Somebody needed this. Everybody else needed something, and she does nothing for herself. And now she's being the martyr.
Okay, so that is the question of truly
Right.
what step zero is. Is it about the obsession of drama?
Haven't changed from 18 to 30, other than, you know, now instead of 2 kids, you got 4, and yeah, it's good to see you.
All right. So, would it be a good idea in this amendment to the Constitution of the 12 steps, because I'm adding step zero, or how about this, a better forward to the 12 steps, which is identifying your obsessive characteristics so that when you are getting rid of your issues in step one, you have a better idea of what they are?
That's a little wordy.
Well, yeah, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress.
I just want to admit, you know, I kind of had step one right out of the womb.
Well, I get the step one, and our next show will be about step one, but
Yeah,
there's no prelogue to it. It's just sort of like, here you go. And I did it the old way, right? There was no like lead up to it. It just, it's almost like the first time you have sex. It happened.
right.
I don't really know. I was there, and next thing I know, it was happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Go home, fill this out, do this. And I've done it 3 different ways for 3 different masters, and only one of them was by the book. But in general, when you're discussing those, there's no prelogue, there's no preamble to it. There's just do it. You've got this issue. Well, the truth is, you got a lot of issues. We obsess over drama. We obsess over the opposite sex. We obsess over obsessing. We obsess over obsessing.
I like that. See, I'd rather see you put that as a forward, as a step zero.
Obsess over obsessing. Step 0. Obsess over obsessing.
I like that. The triple O.
The triple. Well, that'll do it for episode number 1 of Step 0, the triple O.
The triple.
Obsessing over obsessing, where Ian is now going to go off and share this at a Starbucks with his little group, my favorite Jesus of Suburbia. What's your message to the newcomer, so that they'll tune in a week from today to hear step 1?
Don't drink. Go to meetings. get a sponsor.